All right, everyone. Today we are going to condition the 4572. What I have with me today is the all leather conditioner, which Red Wing recommends, and also I noticed that I'm going to need more of this stuff. I use it quite a bit. I'm going to use leather cream. Yeah, I know some people are like, no, don't use that. Don't use this. You're going to darken it. So let's use leather cream. I've been using leather cream. Wow. I've been using leather cream quite a bit, especially on one of my Pecos in the oral, because I do not want those to darken at all. And I really like the effect. And what I do is I apply it with an old t-shirt. So this is the shirt that I use, and I throw it in the wash and then use it on my boots. So I have with me also the brush, just to give them a quick cleaning. They don't need any foam cleaner because they've just been sitting. And also, if you watch the review, there's some corrosion around the hardware, so I have a little a little nail with me to clean that. So I use this nail, or not this particular nail, but very similar, on the harvesters when I clean those. So I'll show you how I do that. So let's get started removing the laces. And as I was saying, there's not going to be too much grime, just dust really on these because they were just sitting. And I will throw some conditioner as well on these laces because they are leather, and the leather laces do get dry as well. Although I would imagine that the laces, especially the ends of the laces where you're tying and pulling, those probably get a little bit of conditioning from your hands, the oils and the sweat in your hands. So I would imagine that, yeah, see, it's just like the leather bits that are on here. Nothing, no dust bunnies hiding in the crevices. When I took the photo of these at Red Wing, they let me use some boot trees, because if you look how it's like the shaft kind of goes in a bit on the boot. So I ordered a pair of boot trees from Red Wing. I have shoe trees, not an actual boot tree, so I'm going to use those to help get the shape back to those, because I know maybe when I wear these, let's say if I put them on and I wear them for a full 8 hours, I would imagine there was probably going to be a little bit of pressure on here where it's kind of caving in, just rubbing on the ankle, and it won't be, like, it'd be more annoying than anything, than any kind of like, oh, I need to take these off right away, like kind of how an engineer is when you're first wearing them, breaking them in. The engineer is like, get these damn things off me right now. So I just shaped that, because what I did it recently with 2 pairs of boots. I put in shoe trees for like 2 weeks. One of them was the Pecos, because it was caving in here, somewhere in here it was caving in, so I left them in for 2 weeks, and after I removed them, wore them totally fine. And then another pair of Pecos, they were rubbing the top of my toes, so I put them in and left them for probably 4 weeks. But now I haven't tried them on since, because now they're out for a resole. So when they come back, we'll try it on and see. Okay, what did I do with my little nail? Okay, here it is. Okay, so let's do a close-up and I'll show you some of the corrosion on here. Okay, so we'll start here, and you'll see if I just take this nail around there, it kind of starts to pick it up. See, there's the bit of that corrosion. All right, let me grab a towel. So I just have like a paper, I have like a paper towel here that I wet, and I just removed the green. So let's see the next one. And when I did the harvesters like this, I was just watching TV and just going, and it took a while going all around, and then the easier, faster part was the throwing on the mink oil on the Mesa ox blood. But and also, I don't mind if the leather gets a little scratched, because this is the copper rough and tough, and it always looks good when it has like a little characteristics here and there, wrinkles and scratches. It's a good leather. Just makes the boot look cooler. And you can see that coming right out of there. It's actually not that bad. There were more on the harvesters that I had than what's coming off here. It's not that bad, which is good. And sometimes there's not a lot on the speed hooks, I have to say. But let's see here on this last one here. It's definitely got some action on this one. Oops. All right. Now the other side. There we go. See that coming right out of there? It's actually it's actually quite satisfying to kind of do this and condition a boot. Especially when you see the end, the outcome, you're just like, you're doing the leather and the boot good. You see that? do this top one here. All right. So I'm gonna do the other boot and then we'll start the conditioning. Okay, so now that all the gunk is out of the hardware, I'm going to apply leather cream as I stated before. This will probably be the first time I've applied leather cream to copper rough and tough. I usually apply it to some of the lighter leathers. Copper rough and tough I know can handle mink oil, and it can also handle the all leather conditioner, natural leather conditioner. But neat's foot oil is really nice because it does not darken, it will not darken your leather. Or I should say the leather cream, Red Wing leather cream, which is Neatfoot's oil, will not darken your leather. It'll give it a nice little shine, but it should maintain the color that you have. And so what Neatfoot oil is, it's basically purified oil rendered purified from the shin bones and feet of cattle. And the word neat in the oil's name comes from an Old English word for cattle. So Neatfoot oil is just used for, like, you know, the conditioning and preserving and softening of leathers. And also in the 18th century, it was used as like a topical for dry skin. So that I did not know, and I do have suffer from dry skin. If I put it on my skin when I'm having a breakout. So like I said, I use an old T-shirt, and I usually would just, you know, stick my T-shirt in there with 2 fingers and just start going at it, start applying. And I know that yeah, see, it's like right currently just giving it a nice shine, and you're not seeing any darkening of it like we had with some of my other episodes. Oops. And I know Red Wing was really, they were really pushing the leather cream. If you saw their social media, they put out several videos of applying leather cream to the 875 was one of the videos I had seen, and also the women's line. They were using the leather cream for that. You also want to make sure that you get up here on the, don't neglect this part here. Putting this on, I can really feel how dry the leather is. It's amazing. I'm sure it's going to be very happy about getting this conditioning. Even on here, the ridge here, you want to give that some love too. I know when I did my my Pecos when I came back, I gave maybe 2 coats of this. I know I did one when they came back from getting a resole. I gave, because I didn't know where the story, you know, how long they were sitting. So I gave them, and then I took them on a quick trip, came back and cleaned them off, and then gave them another coat. So this stuff is light enough that you can apply a few coats. And also, when using this, you know, it's not going to give you the coverage like a mink oil will. So let's say you would apply this more often than you would mink oil or all natural leather conditioner, or even boot oil, because it is a lighter coating. It's not as thick, and so you would need to apply it more often. But they look so much better. Look at that. Let's do a comparison. Let's move this to the side. So now that it is wet, it is darker, yes, than this, but as it dries, it will lighten, get back to it. But this is a healthy looking boot versus this is dry and unhappy. So, and it feels so much better now just with that one application than this. So I think what I may do, I'm not sure. I'll let it dry, and I may throw on another coat. We'll see, but that does look really good. Maybe I will do. We'll see if it dry. Well, patience. Getting excited. All right, let's move that aside and move on to this one. So let's check the shirt. I know sometimes the shirt will have a little bit of the leather coloring on there. It did a great deal when I did the Oro. It had some of the like orangish coming onto the t-shirt. I've seen a lot of, when I look at copper rough and tough on the web, I've seen a lot of really good looking beat up copper rough and tough boots. So I'm gonna do the inside here, like I said, up and also the edge. It may seem like I'm applying a lot, but these boots were desperate for some conditioning. Give them the once over. Yeah, these are looking really good. All right, so I'll let these dry. I'm gonna set these aside. In the meantime, I will just give a quick conditioning to the leather laces. And with this, I'll just go like, take it like this with between my fingers and just go all the way through. because these feel really dry as well. And what could happen is they could just snap on you when they're dry and you're lacing up your boot. You pull a little too tightly and then you got no laces. Okay, and the next one. You can just feel how dry that is. You could probably even, if it's picking up on the mic, you can hear it's really dry. All right, so we'll let those dry as well, and we'll let the boots dry, and then we'll come back and lace everything up, and then admire the handiwork. Okay, so these boots have sat for probably close to 30 minutes. So now what I'm going to do is just give them the once over with the brush, in case there's any excess neat's foot oil in any of the crevices. But to me, it seemed to take it quite well. Yeah, very nice. And they feel so much better now than they did before. Look at those things, huh? Very pretty, very sharp. Look at that. So now let's lace them up. And what I want to point out, there were a little bit of neat's foot oil left inside the eyelets, which is fine because the lace is going to go through here, and it'll pick up a little bit of that neat's foot oil that was left over, and then I can just rub that into the lace. And the laces feel much better as well. Now I can take these out into the streets, give these a nice break in. I know when I put them on initially, I didn't feel any of this leather that was kind of like being pushed in a bit. I didn't feel that, but I know I recently, I was wearing my linemen and I thought I broke them in, but I guess I just wore them a couple times, and they were killing the back of my like Achilles area. And I did probably 3-mile walk in them, thinking that they were broken in, and was treated very impolitely by those boots. And I was halfway, yeah, I was halfway, and I knew I was like, I knew I was going to be in trouble. I knew that these boots were going to give me a blister or something, and so I was kind of taking steps in a way that would at least help alleviate some of that pain. But yeah, I had no choice, but I had to walk another 1.5 miles with the, and so I don't want that to happen with this. So I'm gonna try and do my best to not have that happen. But these are looking really nice, man. It's the first time using that Needs foot oil on this, and maybe I'm sure others of you have used the leather cream on your copper rough and tough. And if you've used anything else, comment below. But sharp, very, very sharp. I was also thinking, I know the leather laces look really good and that's what comes with it, and I also have the Taslin, but I was also thinking of maybe like a flat wax would be kind of nice to throw in. I know I have had trouble in the past with leather laces staying laced. I usually have to do a double knot, and then even then sometimes it's still, I'm walking and then I can feel my boot unlace and kicking the lace around. I know I spoke to Upstate Guy Style about that, and he was saying that you just have to pull them really hard. That you just have to pull the laces harder than you think, and they will stay. But I think the flat laces would be kind of cool. Not sure which color yet I would throw in, but I know when I talked to the guy, one of the guys at Red Wing, he usually has some really good recommendations of like a colorway to go with, a lace to go with, and sometimes he even has them there. He'll pull them out and say, "Here, try these." But I know this is a longer, or I'm sorry, I'll need a longer lace because this is quite a lot of boot to cover. But I know I made the mistake once of buying laces that were too short for my, I think they're for my Iron Rangers, and now they're just sitting there because they're for just a shoe, not a boot, unfortunately. Maybe I can throw them in my Willistons for fun. But very pleased how these turned out. They look really, really good. And they feel nice too. Okay, so there you go. The Red Wing 4572 conditioned with the Red Wing leather cream. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, be a boot. See you guys next time.